Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, da-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, da. Okay, welcome everybody back to another one of my segments. I will be your host, RetroGamer3. No, please. No, please, thank you. Today, we will be talking about the Genesis. Yes, the Sega Genesis, brought to you by Sega! Yeah, a great system. One of the very first 16-bit systems out of the gate was Sega. Okay, back in 1988, it was all about the arcades. I mean, we were spending all of our allowances, all of our life savings, plugging those little quarters into those machines. So what we wanted was, we wanted to play the arcades in the comfort of our own home. And that is what the Genesis did, and it did it very well, too. It came with one of the best conversions of Altered Beast. It was a near arcade perfect conversion of the game, and it really helped the launch of the Genesis as being an arcade at-home machine. And it also spawned some great franchises, the Shinobi series, Streets of Rage, Phantasy Star, that little blue hedgehog, I can't remember his name. Yeah, that guy. And it was great. It was the very first 16-bit system out at the time, and one thing I noticed about the old system, that's what I have, is that it has a headphones jack and a volume switch here. I mean, I never known anyone to use it. I never used it. I think it was just a waste of money putting it on the system. I mean, what do they want you? What do they expect you to do? Like, are you gonna play like? Are you gonna be like a DJ with the system or what? Now the Genesis controller was really cool at the time too. It kind of looked like a batarang or something that Batman would throw at you. And I have the 6-button one. It originally came out with just these 3 buttons right here. But when Street Fighter came out, it was such a great idea for Sega to come out with this, the Street Fighter 6-button controller, which is still to this day one of the best controllers that you could ever have to play Street Fighter. Is anything that looks or resembles like this. You know, the 6 buttons in a row, it's a must-have. Another thing I want to point out about the old Genesis is, it's kind of funny, it actually says high definition graphics on the system. And I think that's pretty funny because this was even way before high definition was even thought of. And the Sega Genesis, you know, compared to now, it has anything but high definition graphics on it. I have the old school style Sega Genesis, which looks like the Japanese version, which was called Mega Drive. I don't like that name. I like the name Genesis way better. I mean Mega Drive. I mean, what are you gonna do? Drive with it? Mega Drive? I don't see any drives on this thing anywhere. So that's pretty much all I have to say about the old school Sega Genesis from Sega, the company that doesn't make video console games anymore. But yeah, no. Well, I'm with you folks. It sucks. Totally sucks. But you have to admit, Sega kind of had it coming with the 32X and of course the Sega CD. I mean, huge bombs to Sega's pocketbook, to their time, to everything. Even the Sega Saturn sucked too. I mean, I will admit it, the Sega Saturn sucked. The PlayStation was out, you know what I mean? It just sucked. So that's it for the Sega Genesis, and I'm going to leave you now with my top 5 Sega Genesis games of all time. This is RetroGamer3, and I'm out.
Number 5.
Okay, coming in at 5th place on my list is Streets of Rage, a great side-scroller beat-em-up, 2 players at the same time, and we played this game for days and days. The best thing about the game, though, is calling for backup when you're getting your ass kicked.
Number
4.
Okay, fourth on our list is Ghouls and Ghosts. Now, this game, I think, single-handedly sold the Genesis in my mind. It is almost an exact arcade port, and the best thing about it is that you didn't have to keep plugging quarters into it.
Number
3.
What can I say about Phantasy Star 4? I mean, it is quite possibly the best Phantasy Star in my opinion. It's my personal favorite. It has the best story, it has the best characters, the best equipment, best magic spells, the list goes on and on and on. It is the total package.
Number
2.
Okay, now we're talking non-stop adrenaline rush, rivaled only by Contra, one of the best shooters of all time, and that is what Gunstar Heroes is to me. Two-player action all the time, and I just think that this game is timeless. That is why it gets second place on my best Genesis list.
Number
1.
Okay, I have come to the conclusion that there are some games you can just play and play and play and never get sick of, and that is Castlevania. Coming in at our number 1 spot is Castlevania Bloodlines for the Genesis, one of the best Castlevanias of all time. I mean, Konami did a phenomenal job utilizing all of the Genesis hardware, and the game is just pure awesome.